stream. Should be coming for real now. All right, testing audio. All right, we are all good. Okay. Hello, everyone. Again, sorry for all of our technological troubles. If you get to know me, you'll know that that is not a surprise at all. But we have learned, and we are going to give you a quick overview again of where we started. My name is Austin Moore. I'm the International Enrollment Coordinator here at Millsaps. Chances are you've already heard from me a few times if you've already applied, especially if you've been admitted. I'm the one in the office who is mainly going to be interacting with students, answering your questions. But today what we want to do is let you hear from current students and hear answers to your questions and concerns from them. The lady in the back is Molly West. I'm going to let her introduce herself now.
Hey there, I'm Molly West. You may also have heard from me regarding your applications, and we're excited to keep hearing from all the students from around the world who are applying to Millsaps. The idea today is to give you a little bit of a picture of what Millsaps is like. We know that you're very far away, and just having some image of where you might study and some of the classmates that you might have is helpful. So we're going to hold this webcast today and some other events to help you explore Millsaps in a virtual way. So the big focus is for you to meet a few of our current students. Millsaps students stay very busy. They're very involved, which we're very proud of. So beyond classes, they have activities and a number of things going on. So several students have said to me, hey, I can't make the webcast today, but if there are prospective students that want to know what it's like to be a student, please tell them to email me. I'd be happy to talk to them. So, we have students from all over the world. So if you're wanting to talk to somebody that's from your home country, or someone in your region, or a student that's an American, you want to know more about what life is like in the American culture, please reach out to us after the webcast and we'll make sure to connect you. I'm going to disappear to answer questions that might come through the chat, and we'll do our best to get those answered at the webcast, or otherwise we can email you afterwards. If you have personal questions about offer letters or scholarship information, let us know. You don't have to send details, but we can connect with you via email so that doesn't come up in the chat box, so that information can stay private. And I look forward to connecting with you all. Have fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Molly. So thank you again for those of you who stuck with us through all of our technology problems. We're going to get right back into it now. You didn't miss too much because we had just started, but the question that we were working on when we realized that we were not being heard was, why did you choose Millsaps? So many, if not all of you out there are currently looking at colleges, trying to make a big decision about where you're going to study. Obviously, many of you are wanting to come to the United States to study, which is an even bigger decision. And so we want you to know that we've all been there. We've all kind of gone through this college search. And so I want you to hear from the students here why they chose Millsaps and how they got here from all around the world. So who did we start with? We start with Leanne. So we're going to start again with Leanne and then let these students kind of tell you how they got here.
Okay, so about this time last year, actually, I was visiting lots of different colleges in like the southern United States area, and Millsaps stood out to me as being completely different from all the other schools that I visited, just from the sense of community and the kind of feeling that I got from everyone else on campus, that they were genuinely happy to be at Millsaps and all the activities they were doing and wanting to talk to me and that kind of thing. So I think it was really the students that kind of changed my mind about which college that I wanted to go to.
Awesome. Bonnie also had a good answer for that one.
Okay, I'm from China, and last summer I have applied for 8 universities, and I was admitted by most of them. I chose to be in Millsaps primarily because scholarships, and second is because it's very focused on writing program, which I think is very helpful. And the third, I was heard from Molly that how people are helpful and welcome here, and which is proved to be true here.
Awesome. Ezekiel,
Okay, perfect. So,
introduce yourself first. So,
okay, I'm Ezekiel, which is the name from the Bible, and this is my first year. I'm religious study major. So last year, I got same situation. I got offers from 10 different colleges, and some of them are like top 30 or top 40, like Trinity College and Franklin Marshall, those very well-known college. But however, yeah, I got scholarship. So this is one of the reasons why I came here. But always remember that scholarship is just one aspect. The scholarship it's not just some money. It's the attention that the school is willing to pay to you. You are receiving this attention from the school. So which means you can do better in your academic field. You can get attention from professor, from administration. So that's why I think scholarship actually means something.
awesome. Thank you. Tomonori, did you have?
Yeah. The reason is the ratio of the number of students and professors, because in Japan, the famous college for which is for the study abroad is very big and large college or university. But I guess in the college or university, it is difficult to get the high level education for Japanese, because Japanese, are not good at talking or using English well, relatively. So I guess the small college is good for the Japanese students to have a good education. So I chose this college.
Awesome, thank you. So Tomonori brings up a really good point. One thing that I really want to mention is Millsaps is a very small college. So that means that our class sizes are going to be a lot smaller, which means, as Tomonori was saying, you can get a lot more attention from your professors. They're able to help you. You kind of build a bond so that they get to know you. They'll know your strengths and your weaknesses, and they'll be able to kind of help to guide you along the way as you pursue your education here. So let's kind of roll with that into another great question, which is, who's your favorite professor so far?
We won't tell. We won't.
Yeah,
tell.
we're not going to tell that. You
I
can,
believe that it hurts.
It's so difficult to decide because I like most of them. They're
Okay.
so helpful. So in this semester, my favorite professor is Dr. McMaster. She is my professor in the literature and law. And because I'm the only international student in the classroom, and then she understands that I may have some difficulties of language. So she wrote down everything that she said on the board, which is so helpful and I really appreciate.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else favorite professors?
Yeah. My favorite professor is Dr. Shilipo from the Religious Studies department. So last year I took the Religions of the World, which is the intro class of religious study that will introduce to you a lot of religions from different regions, and they're all very influential. So during this class, I have like a fully understanding towards the field of religious study, which include like field work and comparative religious study. They are all very useful in the later of your life. So that is really helpful. And besides that, Dr. Shilipo is like, she really put a lot of care on me. It's like, I know I'm going to major in religious study, but I'm not pretty sure. I mean, philosophy, anthropology, they're all very good choice. But Dr. Shilipo really made me realize that this is a comprehensive subject that can really influence my life. So, yeah, she's kind of person that can really influence my life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great idea that Ezekiel has brought up, and it's another question that many of you have submitted when you signed up for the webcast, and that is just about your major. Again, I remember when I was looking at universities, that was a huge question in my mind was, what am I going to major in? What am I actually going to study? And it can be a pretty daunting question. It can be something that you really want to think about. But the good news is that you don't necessarily have to know that right now. Many of you were asking if you have to know your major when you come to Millsaps, and the answer is no, not really. So Bonnie is an undecided major. She is a freshman. Ezekiel has decided his major, and he's also open to kind of exploring different classes. And so I want to kind of put your minds at ease about how that works. It's great if you already have an idea of what you want to study. Say if you're just really passionate about psychology, or you're just really excited about literature and writing. That's awesome, and we definitely welcome that. It's great that you kind of already have that figured out. But you don't necessarily have to be there at this point. What you'll find is that for the first 2 years at Millsaps, you're going to take basic classes, you're going to take building blocks that will allow you to go further with your studies after those first 2 years. So really the first 2 years you don't have to have a major, and then after that point you'll declare a major, and then you'll get more specific into those major classes. So what that means is that those first 2 years you can kind of explore your interests. You never know when you might find something that really jumps out at you that you've never thought about before, and that gives you a chance to explore those before you actually make that decision. So you can sleep a little bit better. We're not going to make you declare a major, especially not at this point. So let's talk about favorite classes. We talked about professors. So why don't you talk a little bit about what classes are like? We've talked about small classes, how you actually have some attention from your professors. What do you do in class? What has jumped out at you so far?
I can start.
Okay.
I'm from China too. So the class that I had in China is basically like teacher will just like teach you something and you like write it down, and that will happen in the test. So which is very boring. But when I came here, everything was changed. So as the class I just mentioned, the religions of the world, that is the that is the class that pay a lot of attention to discussion. So in that case, the professor is not a person who just teaches things. She is also a person that direct and guide your discussion to really develop your own mind, not his mind or her mind. So, which like there are a lot of things that I may have like a glimpse on it, but I just cannot catch it. But in that case, in a heavy discussion class, if the professor gives you a very great direction, you can follow that direction and explore your own mind. Remember, college life is mainly about your own mind. You can explore yourself, to explore your limit, to really achieve your life.
Awesome, thank you. Anyone else?
I've had kind of a similar experience in my connections class. It's super discussion based, so we'll do our readings outside of class and then she'll talk a little bit about the readings, but from then on it's primarily student led almost. I mean, she guides us so that we focus on the text, but ultimately we talk about our own opinions of the text, we analyze the text, we have really like long in-depth discussions about some of the material that we cover, and I feel like I've grown a lot from it so far, even though I've only been taking it for a few weeks.
Right.
So it's pretty great.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think what you'll find at Millsaps is, as they were saying, that students are really engaged in their learning. Generally, it's not just going to be a lecturer standing there telling you what to think or how to do things. There's a lot of discussion, a lot of back and forth, and that way you can really get your hands on learning. As I mentioned earlier, we're located in Jackson, Mississippi, which is a fairly big city in the South, and so that opens up a lot of different opportunities for our students here to kind of get off campus and get their hands on what they're learning, whether it be field trips to different cultural sites around the South, work in the hospitals, different internships and opportunities that way. So yeah, the great answers. Thank you all for saying all that.
I have a question. Are you guys, who's going to the movie tomorrow night? You guys going to the movie? Yet?
Yeah.
So,
Tomorrow. I think it's today.
Tonight.
today's Friday, sorry. I'm just going to add, I wanted to ask them, because we're also, for international students that sometimes maybe not comfortable driving on their own yet, we get together and do group things. So tonight we're going to go see a movie called Hidden Figures all together as a group, which I'm excited about. And there's other things offered throughout the year too. That's another question that we've seen come up in emails, just what like transportation is like. So we have a buddy system and different activities planned to help you explore the city if you're not quite comfortable getting a car and exploring that way. So
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and y'all keep those the questions coming. Molly is kind of on point, looking at those questions and hopefully responding to them and also bringing them up over here as well. So thanks for bringing those questions up. Another question that we get a lot, and I'm going to try to kind of address it quickly, is about financial aid. Bonnie mentioned it earlier when she was talking about why she chose Millsaps. Just so you know, and you can definitely find more information on our website at www.millsaps.edu. You'll just click on the apply button, and it'll take you to some more information concerning international students especially. But just so you know, we offer very generous merit-based scholarships for all international students. We have a new student joining us. We got pizza and cookies, all sorts of stuff. So this is Nicholas. He's running a little late, but he's joining us now. He's going to be jumping into the conversation. Nicholas is a golf player from Bolivia. Yeah. So he's going to be answering a couple questions in a minute, hopefully. But yeah, as I was saying, we offer generous merit-based scholarships to all international students. So what that means is once you send in your application and once we get all of the documents to go along with your application, your high school transcript, test scores, and everything, once we get it into our office, we will take a look at it and we'll look at the whole thing, and then we will come back to you with an admission decision and a scholarship offer along with that. So we try to get you that information as quickly as possible so that you can make a good decision based on all the information that you have. So again, if you want to, if you have any questions, I know each case is going to be different, so I can't really speak to everyone at the same time about that. But if you do have any questions about scholarships, please shoot me an email, internationaladmissions@millsaps.edu. We'll be glad to kind of talk you through that and help you out with that. It's definitely a question that comes up a lot, and it's great that you are already thinking about that because it is a very important part of choosing a college. So now we're going to get back to the students. A few of you actually have jobs on campus as well. Do you have a job on campus?
Spanish tutor, yeah.
Okay. Do you mind talking about that for just a second? You want to explain what your job is on campus?
Sure. So the job in campus, basically, I tutor all the students that are taking Spanish classes.
Okay.
Because Spanish is my first language. So basically, I'm helping students from basic classes about grammar to students who are actually analyzing poems and stuff like that. I did actually in high school.
Okay.
So I basically work with Spanish teachers and just kind of help the process to like improve the language of each student.
Awesome. Anyone else want to talk about campus jobs?
Okay, I work in the Bowie House, which is an international administration office, and my job is helping Austin to get in touch with Chinese students who is blocked by the great internet war, and I also help them to write the postcards, and email them to prospective students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Bonnie and Leanne both actually work with me and Molly over here in the Bowie House in international admissions. So if you have been admitted to Millsaps already, if you've gotten your admit packet, you've probably gotten a letter from either Bonnie or Leanne. So that's who sent you those nice letters. We try to allow them to be in contact with prospective students. So if you have any questions about campus life, things that you really just want to talk to a student about, please let us know, and we can always put you in contact with one of our students. So I think Molly has a question, or
I've had another really good question come in on the chat section. So someone asked about the recent news in the U.S. about the executive order that makes a statement about immigration, and if this will impact their ability to study in the U.S. So wanted to say I've sent out to all prospective students a message from our president reinforcing our commitment to international students and global studies. Our strategic plan is called Across the Street and Around the Globe. So it's very much a part of Millsaps' identity to welcome students. I remember Ezekiel, when he arrived, he said it felt like a global village, meeting people from all around the world. So our doors are open. We're excited for you to come. We have a new program this year that we're launching that's called the International Perspectives Program, and it very much depends on hearing perspectives from students around the world. So absolutely, our doors are open, and we are working very closely with students to make sure that they get through the visa process. What I will say is that I've never seen an executive order quite like this, but when you have changes to an immigration system in any country, there is sometimes a tightening of regulations and a reconfiguring, and so visas therefore can take longer to receive. So we're going to be working with you all to make sure that you receive your I-20s as soon as possible and can start applying for those visas. In addition to our roles as admissions officers, Austin and I are also the people that are responsible for immigration documents that go out to you. So you get both services from the same office. So any questions along those lines, please do address that. But I just want to reassure you, if you didn't read that message from Dr. Perigin, our president, it's pretty inspiring, and it's not just coming from the staff and the faculty, but our students are also pretty excited and always welcoming to the international students. It's not perfect times here by any means. We want to address any safety concerns that you have. I've talked to a lot of our international students over the past few days, and they've seemed to reassure me that they feel comfortable and safe, although it's an unsure time across the nation. So we want to keep that dialogue open and talk with you, and I know that's a question on your family's minds as well. What will the environment be like? So please do let us know if we can connect with you. If you want a one-to-one Skype with your family, any of those type of services, we're available to talk.
thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Just to kind of echo what Molly said, something I really want to get across to any prospective student who's thinking about coming to Millsaps is you're very much welcome here. As Molly said, we sent out a statement from our president and from our office a few days ago, just saying, hey, we value diversity. As you can see, just in this room, this is a small sample of our student population, but it's a very diverse student population. We've got students from all over the world, all over the United States, and it's really awesome to be able to see how we all work together and we all learn together and learn with each other and from each other. So while we're on that subject, does anyone have, I guess this is for the international students, does anyone have like a funny story of something that you've learned about the United States since you got here? Any new words or phrases or anything like that you've learned?
Do a funny experience. It's not really a story.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I and Nicholas get the same experience. We joined a fraternity.
Okay.
Yeah, this is very new thing for me. We don't have fraternity in China.
Yeah.
And I haven't even heard about this word. But after I came here, so I just have the thought that, oh, maybe I can just try it. And then so I joined my fraternity, Lambda Chi Alpha, which is very fantastic. It is always hard to fuse into the group if you are an international student, but not here. I'm not like attacking yourself. So here the sense of community is very good. But if you can join a fraternity, that is like a very inner circle of your social life. Can help you to be socialized, get more contact with the former members. They are all very valuable sources. If you want to later you want to find a job, you want to have some internship, these people can really help. And also we have a lot of parties, which is the most exciting part. That's great.
Yeah, I think fraternities are a very American institution. So you can again check those out on the website as well. There's plenty of information online about the fraternities and sororities that we have on campus. Anyone else?
We thought Dr. Pepper was spicy.
Oh.
Was today your first Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bonnie just had her first Dr. Pepper. If you're not familiar with Dr. Pepper, which I guess is another very American thing, it's a soft drink that we have. It's very sweet, and it's really popular in the United States, especially with college students. So you never know what you're going to learn on a day-to-day basis. Before we started the webcast, we were actually talking about traveling in different countries and different foods that you can and can't get, which to me is always one of the most challenging things about traveling abroad and living abroad is just, trying to get those comforts of home. But as Ezekiel said, there's a great community here, and I think everyone would agree that you feel very welcome and comfortable here, which is awesome. So you brought up the fraternities and kind of campus life. Who wants to kind of explain to students what campus life is like? Your favorite experiences on campus, events, things like that.
Well, campus life is. I would like to say that we kind of like all the students we live such. I don't want to say like a bubble, but it's just like kind of like that where like everybody gets to know each other. There's a lot of activities between students. There's a lot of people come to visit Millsaps, a lot of professors and stuff like that. So you always have things to do academically, and you always have things to do also like for fun, as parties, as Siko said. I guess everybody, like I haven't known anyone that was kind of rude. Everyone's been really kind, really respectful. Everyone's really open-minded, and like they always there to listen to you. I guess everyone here just wants to be like have friends and have a good experience of college, and that's pretty much this. I feel like everybody has that concept in their mind. So once you come here, it's a pretty nice atmosphere. Everybody's happy. Everybody's like looking for the same thing. So I personally feel really comfortable on campus. I feel like it was a really good experience, and I'll say that it's really nice to just hang out there.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to chime in? Yeah. Oh.
You go first.
Stay first.
Okay, first. To me, my campus life I think it's easy. I don't mean that my life is relaxed or my life is very busy, but it's easy in the way that I got people to support me. Like the academic is very challenging, but my professor is willing to help me, and I have the writing center to back me up. And also we have only a few Chinese students here, but it's easy for me to make new friends.
Mm-hmm.
My best friends are from Vietnam, which is very amazing.
Yeah. And you just celebrated the Lunar New Year.
Yeah, we celebrate the Lunar New Year together in the Korean way.
Yeah,
which
so
is very funny.
we had Chinese students and Vietnamese students celebrating Lunar New Year in the Korean way.
Yeah.
So that's a very multicultural, and that's pretty much how Millsaps works a lot of times. Awesome. So let's see. Do we have any other questions coming in? Okay, awesome. So one question that has been submitted a few times before the webcast today is about medical school. And so I just want to give kind of a quick, address that quickly. It's a question that we get a lot on the road as Molly and I travel to different high schools. A lot of people wanting to be doctors, which is awesome. We definitely encourage that. We want you to pursue that. There are a few things that go along with that. One is Millsaps is great at preparing you for medical school. So our medical school acceptance rates are actually, for domestic students, are actually twice the national average, which means that after 4 years at Millsaps, you can definitely be prepared to go on to medical school. Also, as I think I mentioned earlier, we have a teaching hospital that's just right down the street, which gives our students a lot of great access to internships, a lot of great access just to some hands-on learning in the medical field, again, to prepare you for medical school. But it can be really challenging for international students to get a spot in medical school. It's something that, again, is always brought up on the road, and it's kind of hard to explain. What's exciting right now at Millsaps is that we actually have a new Med Pathways program where qualified applicants can actually be guaranteed a spot at a medical school at William Carey University. So that's something, again, that I would encourage you to check out. If you're interested, I'm not going to go into a lot of details right now, but if you're interested, please email me or Molly, and we can kind of give you more details about that. It's a great way, especially for international students, to kind of navigate that and get a spot in med school a little bit easier than trying to go to other schools around. So hopefully that answers that question, gives you something to go on. There is more information on our website, and again, email us if you have any questions. So I think that's all the questions that I really wanted to address. Did anyone else have anything that they wanted to say to our prospective students? Leanne?
Kind of in the same vein as the question about the medical school, the original reason, well, one of the biggest reasons why I decided I wanted to go to Millsaps is because of the undergraduate research opportunities, which are incredible, and you don't really get at most other colleges. But even as a freshman coming into Millsaps for the first time, there was tons and tons of undergraduate research opportunities in the geology field and botany and all the different sciences here that you don't get that at any other colleges, especially in this kind of region. And I thought that was really amazing.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for saying that. And that's another good point about research opportunities. Again, just talking about our location in Jackson, all sorts of different opportunities. Jackson is the capital of our state, as I've said, so it's kind of the hub of business and law and medicine, and we've got museums, we've got all sorts of things where you can get plugged in, whether it be just for fun or also for learning opportunities and experiences. So thank you, Leanne, for throwing that in there. We're going to wrap this up. I can't tell you how much we've left off. Like, there's so much about Millsaps that we would love to share with you, and it's hard to kind of pack that all into a short web presentation. But I definitely encourage you, if you have any questions, if you have any further questions for us, please shoot me an email. My email address is internationaladmissions at... Okay, Molly's also going to post it on the chat. It's internationaladmissions@millsaps.edu. Shoot me an email. I'm usually really good about getting back to emails as quickly as possible. We can try to connect you with a current student. As Molly said earlier, if you want to try to talk to a student from your home country, if we can make that happen, we definitely will. We want you to feel welcome, and we want you to feel connected. Before we leave, though, I definitely want to just put a plug in there about applications. If you've already applied, or if you're thinking about applying, chances are you've been getting emails every couple weeks just reminding you about your application, about different documents that we need from you. I would encourage you to get those in as soon as possible. We've been admitting great students all year, and we're still doing so. So what you're going to need to send in is your application, which you can find on our website, millsaps.edu. Have your high school counselor send in a transcript, and send in your SAT or ACT scores along with a TOEFL or IELTS score. And we'll be able to take all of that, and usually we can have an admission decision. Once we get everything, we can have an admission decision to you in 2 to 3 weeks. So I would definitely encourage you, if you're thinking about it, go ahead and apply, get that ball rolling. We're trying to get everything done by March 1st. So if you can get those documents into us by March 1st, that'll get you in for a priority app review, and also scholarship decision. So I would encourage you to get that going. You've still got about a month to get all those things in. Check us out on Instagram. Bonnie and Leanne keep our Instagram going, so it's just Millsaps International on Instagram. And again, check us out online. There's some videos, some other videos on our YouTube page. There's some great information and pictures on our website at millsaps.edu. So yeah, shoot me an email if you have any further questions. Thank you for joining us. We definitely appreciate you taking time to kind of connect with us and hear more about Millsaps. So until next time, we will see you later.